Hello everyone, welcome to another episode from Solo to Duel. This is actually a very long time since I last did a video of this, and actually it's because for the past few weeks it's been pretty much stuck in limbo. And all this was prior to the release of two new structured decks. As you can see in the shop, it's showing that there are new structured decks available. As of this recording, they just recently released Spellbook of Prophecy and Burning Spirit, so I guess it's pencils down for this other deck, and this deck would be the Magician of Pendulum deck. We're gonna take a look at the shop to see what it originally had for us. It's nice that they're still showing all of these. So let's see what the and primarily this is actually, the one issue I've had with the Magician Pendulum deck is that it kind of mishmashed, splish splash, shoved all together from 3 different archetypes. So it's so the main one is Odd Eyes, followed by Magicians, followed by Pendulum. It would have been so much more consistent if the Pendulum was gone and we just got Magician and Odd Eyes. But oddly enough, it does give a lot of variety of choice here. Now, from my understanding, if you go Magician Odd Eyes, that tends to be the more powerful one, or you can even just go straight Magician for that matter. But this deck kind of just adds a lot of different stuff here. Instead, we are going to be focusing on Odd Eyes Pendulum, Performapal, because it's kind of the more straightforward, easier way to play. It's also one of the least powerful ways to play, so be aware of that. Anyway, that said, so we get a bunch of now for those who are not familiar with pendulums, the idea is your pendulum monsters, the ones that you can see that are half creature, half spell card. You can play them on 2 particular spell zones. More precisely, your leftmost and your rightmost spell zone. And the idea is, if you're able, they have a pendulum value. So here we have a Dragon Pulse Magician. It's just a vanilla monster with a pendulum effect as a spell card. Actually, now that I realize, this was actually decent as removal if you go the Magician route. But you'll also notice that there's a star value. Like this one has a pendulum value of 1. This one's a pendulum value of 8. And the idea here is that you are able to pendulum summon monsters from your hand or your extra deck, provided it's face up. There are ways to get them there. I'll discuss that shortly. With a special action known as a Pendulum Summon. And the value you can summon has to be in between these two. So if I have the Dragon Pulse Magician and Dragon Pit Magician, for example, I can special summon monsters from levels 2 to 7. And the idea is that you're able to get a bunch of really powerful ones out and either just smash directly or combo them into additional special summons. So that said, because we're not doing magicians here, we're running one particular magician. But now the more I think of it, we probably could run a different one instead. But we are running, well, not this Performapal. The problem with the Performapal is that it's kind of parasitic. It only benefits other Performapals, and they're not exactly the most powerful bunch. So that's why they do have decent synergies, but we're not exactly quite running them. Instead, we're running the Odd Eyes package. So we're running Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon, not this. We are running one copy of Pendulum Sorcerer because we do have other pendulum monsters we want to draw into, in a sense. So that is kind of helpful. No, that's a Magician. We are running 3 copies of Skullcrobat Joker because it allows you to add a Performapal, Magician, Pendulum Monster, or Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand. It's basically a straight up shooter. It also has a decent power toughness to boot, and it has a star pendulum value of 8. So we are running a single copy of Performapal Oh yeah, we are running 3 copies of Mirage Dragon also because it's an 8. Also, and mostly because we want to be putting this in the Pendulum slot. Not this guy. That his normal summon ability is a bit too good. We are running 1 Gold Fang because it does allow us to. Hold on, which is the it allows us to fusion summon without using polymerization. A Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Not Rune Ice, but we are putting it in the deck. We have other ways to get it out, mostly from some of our other magicians. We're not running most of these guys though. We are running a few copies of Odd Eyes Persona Dragon because the pendulum value of 1 or less is really hard to come by. We can get away with Pendulum 4-5 if the other side is an 8 because we really want to be hitting 7s, but we also want some other options. Now, they did give us a few good magician builds. We're just not looking over this one quite yet. We might look over them in another time. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, very important. Even if you can't use it as a Pendulum Summon, you can put it in the Pendulum slot. And during your end phase, destroy that card. You can add a Pendulum monster with a certain power, with 15 or 100 or less attack. That's usually enough to set up the next turn's Pendulum Summon. And also monsters that monsters from your field, either Pendulum Zone or your Monster Zone. The Pendulum those cards, if they are destroyed, they don't go to the graveyard. They go to your extra deck face up, and that's how you get your free summon. Now, one reminder is that if you are Pendulum summoning from the extra deck, it's either an open extra deck monster slot or a slot that a link monster points to obviously on your side. We are not running any link monsters in our build, so that is a bit harder to come by, but usually if you combo it with fusions or with either fusions, exceeds, or synchros, you are able to free up that slot really quickly. We are running a few copies of Phantom Dragon. We are running a few copies of Performapal Odd Eyes Dissolver because this is a free fusion summon. You notice I've been talking a lot about fusion summon, and that's quite important. Although we don't see it here, thank goodness that that particular card is a rare. We'll get to that shortly. We are actually not running a lot of these other cards. We are running some copies of Sky Iris, some copies of Pendulum Fusion, some copies of Duelist Alliance, some copies of Spiral Flame Strike. Most of these other cards we're not really running, mostly because they're super conditional, and because of the way the format is now. These are really long-term cards. Unfortunately, the game is so fast that you're not going to set it up that way. That's actually one of the downfalls of Pendulum that's not magician based. But let's take a look at what we ended up with as a result. Now the one fusion monster they did not include is Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. This one's probably your most common hit here. It's one Odd Eyes monster and any other Pendulum monster. Almost all our monsters are Pendulum. The only exception is our single copy of Ash Blossom. And this gives us once per turn negate. Pretty much spell trap card monster effect. It also returns an opponent's face-up attack position monster to their hand. And it's a negate plus destroy, so this one's pretty good. You're pretty much doing this all the time. We still have Beast Eyes, Rune Eyes. We have one Performapal Gatling Ghoul. I think I probably opened this one. Now this one does give us direct burn damage and can destroy some one monster our opponent controls and deals even more damage. So we could use this as a finisher for the most part. Now let's see. Monsters that I did not yeah, we have 2 copies of Noble Dragon Magician. This one is mostly to facilitate our synchros. Now, because of this ability here, we are basically aiming to synchro 6, 7, 8. So 6 is more of just straight up comboing with Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon. We have a red Wyvern. Just a basic one. We have Exploder Dragon Wing and 2 copies of Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. I think this one is in the deck. This one allows you to special summon one of our cards in our Pendulum Zone. So that gives us an interesting boost, and it can also continue the chain. Up on 8s, we have a copy of some Supreme King Dragon Clear Wing. We are not exactly running this with Clear Wings per se, nor are we running this with Supreme King Dragon monsters, so we are just using this as a board wipe effect. And we have a copy of Chaos Ruler, Chaotic Magical Dragon, only because I opened it. For the most part, you're probably just running another copy of Odd Eyes instead. Also, this card was recently banned in the TCG, so I would not be surprised if this card gets banned eventually here in Master Duel. In that case, just sub it with another fusion monster, or most likely another Exceeds monster. All our Exceed monsters are level 7 because those are the most common ones we get to. So Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, I think we do have a Raging Dragon list. This does highlight another issue. The most we get is 3,000 naturally, and it's only off of these. A way to get more power is having Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon in your Pendulum Zone. There's a lot of things to keep track of. That's what it is what makes Pendulum really hard to play with. Otherwise, we have the usual suspects: Lightning Storm, Raigeki, Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, Infinite Impermanence, Forbidden Droplet. Thank goodness we got this as a free drop with a bundle. Solemn Judgment, a copy of Solemn Warning. I recently opened this one. A few copies of Solemn Scolding. Basically, it's about trying to have an early board, try to survive for the longest part. But honestly, my opinion on this deck is not been really high. So we will usually, as a result of that, we go first. It also has a big vulnerability where if we go first and our opponent manages to wreck our gameplay one way or another, it's kind of game over for us at that point. So that's something to keep in mind. That said, we have a 1 and a 2. So you want to special summon this. That is also another issue. It's actually very easy to break in this deck. So I actually want to keep this as a 1. Yeah, there's no point in having a 1 and 2 setup, and you want to special summon this. So I am actually going to give up on the 1 here. I'm going to use Ash Blossom hopefully to counter our opponent's play. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to surrender this one right away. That's the biggest weakness of Pendulum decks. I guess I could overload it with fewer spells and traps and instead just go for more pendulums. That would be a better option, I suppose. Take 1 Despia monster from your deck. Add it. No, we're gonna fire this off right away, only because I don't really have that. But I suspect our normal drop is also gonna contain a tutor of some sort. Okay, no Nobleman of Crossout. I kind of expect that. I am expecting either Call to the Grave or Nobleman to be one of the next cards. Oh. Did we? Okay, we might have stalled them out. Now... Okay, we might have an alternate plan here. First things first, Harpy's Feather Duster. I am going to probably just swing with the Golem and just try to put it... That was a Forbidden Droplet and a Dragon Meat. Oh, it's a Dragon Meat deck? I know there's... Well... We kind of need to hit another... Yeah, like I could just special summon this. No, I can just regular summon this. It's just super uninspiring. Yeah, we're just gonna do a base hit. We kind of got lucky that we stalled out our opponent somewhat there. Now let's see what they get. Special summon. Nope. Now let's see. I'm gonna go for this because there is a very good chance our opponent already has a particular dragon made ready, and they're just gonna cycle it over and over. We might. Well, it's kind of a weird mix. Though it does work well with fusion summons, so it does make it awkward for us. Yeah, you can add one branded spell. Yeah, this is pretty much shooter heaven. If we hit another, so branded fusion using monsters from your hand, deck, or field. In other words, why do they like making one card combos? I'm pretty sure all the cards here are going to come from the deck. You cannot special summon the turn you activate this card. Well, that's kind of the idea. So maybe you can discard. This card cannot attack. You cannot special summon. Oh, discard for a free fusion summon, and you also get an additional Thespian Tragedy. That is a tragedy, I would say. And I'm pretty sure that one can be summoned right away. Oh no! If this card in your hand is used as a fusion material, now also note that you can banish this card if this fusion summons. Hold on. Banish one's monster on the field, cannot use it next turn. Okay, so you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Not looking good. We're not gonna be able to summon anything at this point. Yeah, it's kind of game over. We already used up our Raigeki. I think it is an argument for maybe cutting one of our and target in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Let's see what we can do here, but the most we're probably gonna do is just damage this and nope, they have the Nash Blossom. We can surrender now. Yeah, and there we go. We pretty much highlighted the ultimate weakness of Pendulum. Pendulum probably works better if you start with more cards in hand, but then again, so would every other deck. It's really not a big advantage to Pendulum. It's a slight advantage, I guess. One can say add more pots, but my gosh, you have no idea which pot is gonna be banned next or whatnot. Anyway, we do get to go first. So we'll run out Sky Iris first into Performapal. So take note, we have our 0 solved. But what we actually want is we don't exactly want a 0. We want let's see. We want a way to fusion. So we actually want this guy. So unfortunate, but everything is on the low side here. I'm trying to think. We can Odd Eyes, Duelist, Spiral Flame Strikes back. Okay, we have a play. So P-Scale, Duelist Alliance. So we could just grab Pendulum Fusion instead. Actually, I also want... We'll grab the other one. So we're gonna drop this for 4. We could fusion directly from here, but we'll only get one card in the yard as a result, so that's probably not a great idea. So instead we're gonna go for grab our 8 this way. Pendulum Summon both of these guys. And we could exceed, but no, we need, because we're the one starting the turn, we will fusion summon. We can also, let's see, it is unaffected by this turn. Nope, we need it to be unaffected for the next turn as well. So we're going to, let's see. Yeah, we can still do that summon, but we won't because we really want to have the negate. Now that said, having the negate is nice, but it is not perfect. If our opponent has a kaiju, we lose that ability. If our opponent has basic forbidden droplet, also kind of ruins it for us because they can just play it right away. Opponent instead is going for the safety play. We have a lightning storm that we can't quite use. Also, Sky Iris has a weakness. You can only target. So we're gonna Pendulum Summon now. Get. No, they might trigger something, but we do have the odd eyes for defense. We could fusion summon into, say, another vortex, but hold on. Let's see what we can actually fusion summon into. We need a Performapal monster. We need spellcasters, so we don't have those options. I could wreck one of these to get a card to normal summon, but yeah, we actually can. Can we? I'm thinking if we can win right away. Let's go for it. So we are adding the regular Odd Eyes Mirage. Yeah, that didn't exactly do much. We'll probably just replay this again. Yeah, we kind of dilly-dally there. There is a weakness with Sky Iris. It doesn't really get everything. So cancel. Yeah, enough dilly-dally. We'll start swinging. Actually, we made a mistake. We should have swung with this one first. Yeah, and the mistake was because this because it's not from dealing damage to a monster, it's from dealing damage to an opponent. We would have gotten a free 24 hit. But on the flip side, we were able to get a little extra fodder. So there we go. Next turn, I can see myself, if assuming our opponent stays, next turn I can see myself, exceed summoning just the Pendulum Summon again. Opponent is trying to go for it. Banish this card and as many summon. You cannot normal summon or special summon except Blue Eyes White Dragon. So it's only creatures named Blue Eyes White Dragon. the problem is it special summons them face up. So I'm actually going to just nuke this right now. If they have something else, so be it. Now the other weakness of Pendulum is that yeah, it pretty much prevents us from playing Lightning Storm. I would have to back-to-back destroy these two cards. And I can't even destroy this, so I would need some help from our opponent there. I should. Let's do another Duelist Alliance, see what we can get off this. Also, we are canceling that. Also, I realized our opponent was playing a 60-card deck. Unless you have, I think, but I do believe this deck does have the grass is greener, so that is an option. So, Pendulum Fusion. So, yeah, this one's just showing off. I apologize. Yep, and the opponent conceded right there. I apologize for that one. But at least I was able to get a little extra action just for this one. Yeah, the Xyz Fusion put me to 3,100, so a little extra reward. Maybe the game dev should reconsider. It is a nice way to give rewards, but you might want to reconsider how you do that, because it incentivizes people to play longer instead of going for the win. Now, I don't know what kind of sadistic mind decided that, oh, we're going to prolong the inevitable. And you have to note that sure, the opponent can surrender, but they lose out on rewards. Now, and if the game was long enough, they might actually be incentivized to stay. Okay, now here we have a really bad situation here. Like, I would probably Performapal into something. Noble Dragon Magician is mostly used as a synchro material. It's actually quite useless as a pendulum effect, because we are not running the Magician's build. We'll see what our opponent has. Infinite Impermanence. So we don't even get the tutor effect. We're gonna have to kind of wait on that. But if... yeah, because I can P-scale this, but it does quite nothing. But I can normal summon it next turn, so we just need to survive long enough. Which means we are gonna be playing both Solemn Warning and Forbidden Droplet. Let's see what comes up here. Oh yeah, I actually have to give credit also. I did get some help on this particular build. There were a lot of cards when I was first building this one. I missed out on a few cards, and mostly on the back of them being, well, normal, rare. It's a very big mistake. You have to remember that a good number of cards actually function outside of that. So yeah, we'll just summon this. Can't. Hold on, I'm gonna do a double check here, because a Meteor Burst Dragon, you can target. It also cannot attack for the rest of this turn. So also, I did make a mistake of putting it here. Anyway, we're gonna attack first. Then we're going to special summon this. Then activate special summon this guy. Nope. And oddly enough, we do want to Pendulum Fusion into Odd Ice Vortex. Yeah, we're missing out on some power here. But then it gives us more protection because our opponent really did not do anything much for the first few turns, and it really scares me. So it's really us holding on sitting on the back of these negates. I did sacrifice the ability to win next turn because this is still 1200 power. We might top deck into a creature if we're lucky. Never mind. Whatever. I have no idea what our opponent played. And some kind of undeservedly, we made it to gold 4. I've actually been sandbagging this. No, I haven't been It's more like I haven't been incentivized to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh recently. A lot of other things have come our way. Yeah, I did actually have to get help from this one from Facebook, no less. I'm going to apologize a lot because it's been quite a while, but a very big shout out to Almost Used Your Real Name. Anyway, so we got the 1. And we got 4. But and we're also gonna leave up a Solar Morning. But this is where we get the other half here. If we survive long enough, that's again another caveat. So we need to get an 8. Actually, I have to really thank you a lot. Yeah, he goes by sporkysdc. I'm gonna again give many thanks to you in the description. You did not want me to use your real name. Perfectly fine. Let's see. Discard 1 card. Add up to. I kind of have to let it go. The problem with this is that the 2 cards that you get are probably going to be a summon anyway. Yeah, in this case it's going to be a ritual summon. Also, Solar Morning does have a bit of a weakness. It's super specific. I would prefer Solemn Scolding in many instances though. In this case, we do get 1 shot, so maybe that saves us. Maybe not, because our opponent was able to... This was a tutor effect. So it's presumed that they have the ritual. Yeah, they have the ritual. And I don't think there is a normal way to take out Chaos Max. Also, I haven't seen this one. If a card is destroyed, you can special discard from your graveyard. So we're going down to 2,000. And we need to trump this by combat. As I said, there's literally only one way this is happening, and it requires quite a lot of... Okay, the Feather Duster is not gonna do it. If this... You can make that opponents for each... Cannot target this card. Hold on. Does this target? You can make that... I don't know. The one thing I hate about this game is that it has implicit targeting. I wish that they would be more consistent in how they write stuff. Anyway, we have to act. We'll see. If it works, it works. If it's not, we're dead. That's lit. There's no in and out about it. It's a good thing I did not Pendulum Summon either. Also, we would definitely be dead. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, they had a way to You can destroy one card in your Pendulum Zone, place one in your extra into your Pendulum Zone, except... hold on. Doesn't really do anything. We're kind of dead anyway. Yeah, between those two... We needed... our opponent knew what they were doing with the Ritual Shooter. So... actually good for them. They were about to lose rank, so we kind of saved them in a sense. I don't think this is going to be an hour-long video, given how fast games go nowadays between Albas, Sword Soul, etc., etc. I'm actually surprised we got a few wins as it is right now. And right now we have very little to no interaction. Let's small world reveal. So they're banishing Vampire Vamp. Going to get Mezuki. Okay, is this a Balderrock deck? It's really okay. They get Vampire Ghost. You can send one other Vampire card from your hand. I'm assuming they do. Add to your hand, then send one from your deck to graveyard. Lots of sending. So far it's vampires, but it could be vampire into something really big. And they also pitched the Vampire Familiar. If this card is special summoned, and you can send one to special summon it. So they're gonna special summon it. It's gonna get banished, but it doesn't really matter. It's primarily fodder here. So yeah, if we don't hit the Sky Iris, we will not have a way of because we need to find a way to drop one card here if we're going to summon Odd Eyes Phantasma Dragon, and it cannot be part of a Pendulum Summon because you can't Pendulum Summon the turn you activate this effect, so it's one or the other. Opponent does go for well, that's a sucker. If you attribute a monster, you can tribute zombie monsters your opponent controls. Do they have the spell? Because they okay, we're just waiting. Okay, they do have a pair of sixes. That's an Exceeds into another vampire. If summoned this way, once per turn you can detach, send one card from your deck to the graveyard. Well, they gave up the sucker for this. I'm really just thinking, how do I get this out, because we do need a way to knock this. The discard special summon. Okay, the trap cards are also a bit of a concern here. So we do hit an Odd Eyes Fusion, which we can use right away. I'm just avoiding it because it only fusion summons a dragon monster, so we will not be able to get Gatling Knight that way. Ooh, we do want to okay, so one thing to note is we do want to Pendulum Summon because that is part of the effect of Rune Ice. We're gonna see what these cards are. This actually is kind of bait. Also, okay, we got it in the graveyard. So no, okay, they let that go. Are they letting this one go? They're kind of letting that go. You can only use... Okay, so I can destroy 2 to get 2 in. And if I special summon this, I won't be able to Pendulum Summon again. I could just take Pendulum Fusion, but we do have Odd Eyes Fusion also. Let me just take the safety. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to drop that, so I might as well just summon this now. It doesn't solve this quite yet, that's an issue. I can technically fusion summon and then try and then go for okay, adding 1 card to the So it gives us a negate at least. That's kind of the good news. Then next turn we can, yeah, we'll activate this now. Technically we don't have to, but we might as well. Yeah, we'll get this. Not really sure what happened there. I think our opponent might just be smashing in. Which does make sense, because it does let them special summon from the extra deck. Also, Mizuki special summon a target. What are they special summon? They do have a bunch of very good special summon targets, I would say. What did they target here? You know what? We're just gonna activate this. Hello? Okay, so and we return Performapals to the deck. So 1 Vampire Awakening. Yeah, actually I had to do it. There's a bunch of other effects, but my main concern would have been this one. So opponent is going to go for even more draws, so that might be an issue. The key part here is that we should try to... Do they have an effect that because right now what I'm seeing is that well, they're taking their life total really low. You can declare your opponent sends 1 card of their type from their... Oh! From their deck to the grave. Oh, from deck. Okay. So not too much an issue there. Yeah, most likely they're gonna... Oh, wait. You can pay X. Okay, that just gets an extra in. surely they have a way to prevent me from summoning. Well, they don't have any face-up cards, so this is not a negate. And they summon in attack position. I'm trying to see what quick effects they might have. Well, probably could be one of these two cards also. You can pay. Okay, they get rid of that weakness. Union Carrier. You can target one face-up monster you control, equip it, equip monster. Okay, they probably equip something to make sure not into Damp Fear. There. And what is the target one card, send it to the graveyard, so it sends it to here. Okay, that's enough to kill us. We would need to hit our one copy of Raigeki, and never mind, they had the well, Raigeki would still wipe it. It's not Raigeki, it's a Sky Iris, which we can. Doesn't really do anything. Also, they can just they are missing the materials. Not that it matters. We are kind of missing a way to win the game. And they had an Ash Blossom too. No. Was that close? Not really. I would not call that close by any means. There is probably an argument that we probably should not have fired off that for. It's probably one of the. It is an interface issue. Like, please tell me what's being targeted. It's not clear. Okay, so I am going for this, but there is a good chance that this gets count. That they have an Ash Blossom again. Well, Ash Blossom really good. I believe that bundle you should be able to buy that bundle 3 times. Like Ash Blossom is kind of mandatory. Okay, they're going for Max C instead. I am kind of all in on this point. Though it puts cards in hand. We have Odd Eyes, Performapal U Go Dragon. Now we can Odd Eyes Fusion using monsters from your hand or field. Do I want to preserve this, or do I... Yeah. Oh, we needed one of these. Okay, so we are going... Now, technically we can Pendulum Summon, but it just draws them an additional card. It might be worth it, because I'm about to fire this off. Because I don't want to just lose this card. That's an issue. Yeah, let's just Pendulum Summon this. Give them a card, and we'll have to give them another card. Yeah, now we're gonna bin both. Yeah, give ourselves the extra fodder that we need. Yeah, we just gave them 2 cards. That's really not good. Now, technically, if Technically, what we should have done is actually get another 8. If they had the way to destroy this, we would have to play this one. Since what we're really summoning is a 7 anyway. Again, we're okay. But if they're playing a card like this based on multiple cards, this could be either Eldritch or one of those what, the Fallen Lord deck. That isn't. Let's see if our opponent would. Okay, skill drain. Yeah, we have to counter that. They probably have a counter to this. Your opponent cannot target if this face-up is sent from this. Okay. And Wabo. Okay, now that's a classic. I remembered that from the old days. So no attack, but skill drain is not. But we're not locked out. That's the good news. Going for the bingo machine. So yeah, we always pitch that one. So let's double check what Waboku does. You take no battle damage this turn. No battle damage, but we do have another source of damage. Now let's see. We can special summon one Dark Dragon type, one Beast Monster type. If this card destroys, okay, we don't have to do it now. And so we attack with this one. Oh yeah, because there's no direct damage, there's no damage like that either. Okay, never mind. So our best bet is actually to, because this is based on a Blue Eyes deck. We need to be able to negate attacks. No. So we don't counter this, but we counter what the next thing that they drop. That's a bit annoying. If Winged Dragon of Ra is a thing, so they now have 2 bingo machines. I think you are allowed to. You can only activate one special summon from your extra deck. Yeah, that gives us a negate back again. So we will let that go, unfortunately. So they just revealed 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, so they probably need one of them as fodder. Oh, dropping another trap card. Ultimate Fusion. During Fusion 1 monster that mentions by shuffling from your hand, field, and or graveyard. No, we have to counter that. They probably have another one, which is really bad for us, but you know, we can't really do much about that. We pitch it. No, we also have to be careful because we only have one. We now have only one shot left, so we probably don't want the special summon. You know, rather we don't want the Pendulum Summon. Monster Reborn is okay though. No, there's no more materials here. Can't negate that. I'm gonna have to give up my negate at this. I'm gonna have to give up my negate now. Waboku. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. You take no battle damage, but monsters still do. Okay, let's cancel that. Let that go. Yeah, we have to give up the. Yeah, we're giving up the negate one way or another, which is the annoying part. Yeah, that. Okay. No, cylinder's fine. It's not. That's fine. That's fine. Now we want to change these to defense position. Okay, the problem now is that they're going to summon Winged Dragon of Ra. That's really bad. Yeah, special summon from the extra deck. Unfortunately, those are our monsters, so no. We'll wait for our opponent. Maybe they do have one. So Jet Dragon, Ultimate Fusion. Let's see what we hit. Well, we're not gonna see what we hit unless. Dude, does this have a special? No, cancel. Activate that. You can destroy. Place one in one face up. No, we don't have a good face up right now. And okay, so we did hit the Vortex Dragon. Okay, take that out. Okay, opponent goes to end phase. They've been getting a lot of value from True Light. That's a bit annoying. Activate Aldi's Rebellion Dragon. If this card, you can destroy that many cards in your pendulum, then place this card. No, we're not. We don't have to. Then we can place one in your pendulum zone. No, we don't want to. Can't attack. Wait. Cannot target this for. Oh, that's a problem. How are we gonna get past this one? We might. Hold on. So, not enough. Too big. You can target. Also, your opponent cannot activate effects during their battle phase. No, that's not helpful for us. Yeah, so unfortunately the Winged Dragon of Ra is going to be an annoyance. We will need to hit one. We will need to hit our lone piece of removal. Did we have a way to tribute? That doesn't. Yeah, and we don't have a negate because this. So what did he do? Discard. Special summon Blue Eyes. Okay, this is looking really bad. Yeah, we were better off not switching this to attack position. We neglected that we cannot attack this at all. Yeah, it's Raigeki or bust, but it's looking like a bust right now. Oh, never mind. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, wait. There's another effect. No, that was. Nope, we still kinda. Wait. Yeah, that's 3 attacks already. Yeah, Jet Dragon's really, really good at getting stuff back. Yeah, unfortunately we don't have anything to we can't summon anything with this mix, so that's a concede here. It's not good, not looking great for, as I said, it never really looked great for the magician, for the Performapal deck. Yeah, we got demoted, but we kinda expected that. You know what, let's give this one more go. We're already at the 1 hour mark, but I want to see maybe there is a little hope for this deck. I'm not gonna hold my breath for it though. Also, as you notice that a lot of our wins, it's pretty much just because our opponent never really got a chance to play. So that it never really looked well for a magician. That said, I usually start in silver, and I did manage to get to gold completely with the deck, so it's not a complete lost cause. It is doable. So we do want a 1 because we are going to. Oh, this is a 4. Okay. So probably should have destroyed this first. Pendulum Graph Sorcerer. Yes, we are. So we're going to wreck 1 and 2. Yeah, so we select these 2. Keyscale this, and this is mostly for the fusion effect. Of course we get Odd Eyes Vortex because that's our protection. Yeah, we'll just use these 2. Actually, looking at this now, well, the problem with Sky Iris is that you don't... 3 copies is probably too much. 2 copies is about fine. Duelist Alliance, probably same argument there. Also, although Duelist Alliance doesn't grab that many cards, it's actually the same. It has the same similar effect to Spiral Dragons, the Spiral Strike. Opponent does have their own Duelist Alliance, but you need to have a card in the Pendulum Zone first. Oh, in the Pendulum Zone. Well, I do have cards. Does it count my Pendulum Zone? Okay, that's an interesting way to do it. Also weird. It's also a weird punish as well. I would not be surprised if this is the. I would not be surprised if this is the Magician version, because that, as I said, that is the better one. Yep. We're gonna let the first one go. It's the second one that we usually want to snipe. Well, this, you can target one that... Those are both 8s. There is an effect that does reduce one of... that reduces it to another one. It's either that or because it's easy to confuse star with the pendulum rating. So that is an issue as well. But this is a pure Performapal deck. Well, it's Performapal plus Magician. Nope, you're not adding that to hand. Now, this might be the bait, but they've already invested 2 cards in a board position that doesn't look quite impressive. So the last thing I want to do is let them add something to hand. Now they might have done this because they're sandbagging other effects like a spell or whatnot. Can't read. Pendulum Call, discard with different names from your hand to deck. Actually, looking at all of these, except for the Monster Reborn, this does right now. This looks like the this completely Dragon Caller. Okay, this does look like the deck out of the box. It looks like a structured deck. So this is probably a counter, but we can counter it. So normal summon. No. Now we also have to be very careful about how many cards we summon. I just realized that our opponent might have been sandbagging a Nibiru, but that doesn't look like the case. We're gonna stop right there. Activate the effect. No, we're not countering that. It only affects once, but we have plenty of creatures. Yeah, looks like our... I have no idea why our opponent put double 8s there. Were they expecting me to blindly negate one of them? I almost did, so that would have been really bad. But that is another issue with Pendulum, basically. It has a reasonably high curve, and it's very easy to make mistakes at the beginning. Hopefully, the gameplay that we've seen means that when I make these mistakes, you don't have to. That's going to be it for this episode from Solo to Duel. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. And again, many thanks to, hold on. It's not very easy to... It's not very easy. It's easier to refer you to by your real name, but you don't want me to refer you by your real name. Many thanks to sporkysdc or sporkysdc. I think that sounds a lot better that way, for helping me out with this one, because I really was scratching my head all throughout this one. I really could. But both of us did come to the same conclusion. If we go the Performapal route, it is what you saw. It has a decent startup, but you use up so many cards just to get to that point that if your opponent has decent enough responses, and a lot of decks do, you're kind of gonna fold. That said, it's kind of... And if you want to go for one where you just steamroll your opponent right away, there are kind of better options for that as well. But that said, don't be discouraged. I might take a look at this from the Magician point of view. As I said, this deck has... kind of too many archetypes rolled into one. It is kind of the deck that wants you to buy all 3 copies of it, and you kind of have to, for the most part, at least buy 2 copies of the structure deck if you're going into this. You want most of them in doubles, and some of the cards that are... And the only card that is in triplet is the Skullcrobat Joker. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.